Hey everybody, thanks for joining Renewed Mind Breakthroughs with Ashley. Today I want to talk about dopamine. So dopamine is often referred to as the feel-good chemical. It's associated with our pleasure system. So dopamine is really important for just every day. So like when you eat, when you drink, like dopamine is involved in sex. Like if we didn't get pleasure from that, like we wouldn't be procreating, and the world would end, like. So dopamine is really important. It's also associated with like Parkinson's. You got low dopamine, slow, the movements are really slow. It can also, like when you got high dopamine, it's like euphoria. It can be hallucinations. It's just like, whoa, like lots of dopamine. And so we need to have it in, good levels or whatever. Like, so ways that dopamine can become a problem is, so you eat that chocolate cake, or you have sex, you post that post on Instagram or whatever, and now you get like a bunch of likes or people are commenting, so boom, you're boosting dopamine. You find that really good deal on that cute pair of shoes or whatever, boom, some dopamine boost happening there. And so, some of those things can be healthy and fine and whatever. It's when it gets to be a problem. It's when you're constantly seeking that dopamine high. And when we do drugs like meth, like that releases a lot of dopamine. And not only does it release tons of dopamine, but it blocks the reuptake of the dopamine. So you have like just tons of dopamine sitting there. And, it's just like this prolonged like exposure. It's like, ooh, all this pleasure, And so like, and then it can actually like rewire your brain. And it's like nothing, daily life, normal things like having that piece of cake or whatever no longer gives you that pleasure, because that meth has gotten your brain just so desensitized, because it just used to like so much dopamine, just like, whoa, and so it becomes desensitized because it's too much for your brain, like that constant dopamine, that constant high, that constant rush, like your brain's like, whoa, like we need to calm down on that, like we're gonna desensitize because it's too much, And then that's how people in addiction, like they, you go and like, let's say you quit the meth and it's like, great, like why don't I feel good? Like I have no pleasure, like nothing gives me pleasure anymore, because your brain is so desensitized to that dopamine. So you got to give yourself grace in those times, and you really have to allow the brain to heal. But there are ways that you can naturally increase dopamine. So like tyrosine is the precursor to dopamine. So eating foods rich in tyrosine, like meats, dairy, eggs, nuts, things like that, that'll help naturally increase your dopamine. Getting a good night of sleep, exercise releases dopamine. Spending time with your loved ones, having sex. You just got to be careful, because you can get a sex addiction. You can get addicted to posting on Facebook. You can get addicted to, food. You can get addicted to shopping, and it's because of that dopamine. And so like we really need to be careful that we're not chasing that high all the time. And so balancing that out, because the dopamine, it's like, whoa, it's rush, but then there's sleeping, and then there's relaxing, and those help balance you out. Avoid stress, anything to kind of, pray, meditate, whatever, anything to just calm yourself down, because you don't need to be like, whoa, all the time, So finding that balance is really important. Getting that good sleep, taking care of yourself, making sure you're doing all the things to keep you healthy. So yeah, dopamine's really great. It's really awesome, you guys, but you gotta be careful, especially with those like cocaine, those kind of drugs, man, they can really mess up your brain, and it takes a while to heal. So give yourself grace if you're in that time period of, your brain trying to become sensitive to dopamine again. Like, it takes time. So I hope you guys got some value from this today. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Thanks for joining.